Christmas Eve. Snow everywhere. Victoria Phillips stands outside with nowhere to go. Her in-laws just threw her out. Pregnant, obese, cold. The door slams behind her and the house goes quiet. Her hands are shaking so badly she almost drops her phone. She texts the only number she remembers, someone she thinks will help. "Please, they kicked me out. I'm pregnant. I have nowhere to go." She doesn't know she typed the wrong number. The reply comes fast. "Send your location." Her heart jumps. Someone is coming. 15 minutes later, headlights cut through the snow. A black car stops in front of her. 3 men step out. The one in front doesn't smile. He doesn't ask her name. He grabs her arm hard. "You're late," he says. "Get in, now." She tries to explain. "I think there's a mistake." He doesn't listen, because he believes she is someone else, someone important, someone who sent him a secret rescue signal. The car doors lock. Only later will he realize the truth, and when he does, he won't let her go, because the help she begged for was never meant for her, and one wrong text just put her in a place worse than the street she was kicked out onto. Stay with this story, because the mistake doesn't save her life, it destroys it. Before the story continues, let me say this. If any of these stories comfort you, entertain you, or make you feel understood, please subscribe. It's free, but it means everything to this channel. Now, let's continue. The cold bit through Victoria Phillips' coat like tiny knives. Christmas Eve should have been warm, should have been family, should have been the smell of cinnamon and pine needles, laughter echoing through the house, her hands wrapped around hot cocoa while her husband rubbed her swollen belly. Instead, she stood on the frozen curb outside her in-laws' house, watching snowflakes stick to her eyelashes. The porch light was still on. She could see the shadow of her mother-in-law through the curtains, moving back and forth in the living room, probably cleaning up the mess from dinner, probably erasing every trace that Victoria had ever been there. Her feet were numb, her fingers too. She'd left her gloves inside, along with her dignity, her hope, and apparently her place in this family. "You don't belong here." Those had been her mother-in-law's exact words, not yelled, worse, said calmly, like stating a fact, like pointing out the sky was blue or snow was cold. Victoria's husband, Marcus, had stood there, just stood there, his father beside him, arms crossed, his sister smirking from the doorway. "Marcus?" Victoria had whispered, one hand on her round stomach, 7 months pregnant with his child, their child. He wouldn't look at her. "Pack your things," his mother had continued, that terrible calm never breaking. "We've tolerated this situation long enough. You can leave tonight or we'll call the police and say you're trespassing." "Trespassing? I live here. I'm his wife." A mistake he'll correct soon enough. The older woman's eyes had traveled down Victoria's body with open disgust. "Look at yourself. You think this family wants that walking through our doors? You think we want our grandchild raised by someone like you? Someone like you, fat, black, poor. All the things they'd smiled through at the wedding, all the things they'd pretended not to see when Marcus brought her home, all of it came spilling out on Christmas Eve like poison they'd been holding in their mouths for too long. Victoria had packed one bag. That's all they'd given her time for. One bag while they stood in the doorway watching, making sure she didn't steal anything on her way out. Now the door was locked behind her. The porch light flickered once, then went dark. They'd gone back to their perfect Christmas. She pulled her phone from her pocket with shaking hands. The screen was cracked, had been for months, but it still worked. Her breath came out in white clouds as she scrolled through her contacts. Mom, dead 3 years. Dad, never knew him. Best friend Shanice moved to Atlanta last summer, wouldn't answer at midnight on Christmas Eve. Marcus, his number was still there, but calling it felt like swallowing glass. Her thumb hovered over another name, David, her cousin. He'd helped her once before when Marcus's temper got bad, let her sleep on his couch for a week. He'd told her to call if she ever needed anything. She pressed his name, typed fast, her fingers clumsy from cold. "Please, they kicked me out. I'm pregnant. I have nowhere to go. David, I'm so sorry to bother you on Christmas Eve, but I don't know what else to do. I'm outside in the snow, and I just need somewhere warm, please." She hit send before she could second-guess herself. The message showed delivered. Victoria waited, hugging herself, her breath coming in short gasps. The baby kicked once, twice, like it could feel her panic. "It's okay," she whispered to her stomach. "Someone's coming. David's good people. He'll come." Her phone buzzed. "Send your location." Relief crashed through her so hard she almost sobbed. He was coming. David was actually coming. She pressed the location share button with numb fingers and sent it. "Stay there. Don't move. I'm coming now." Victoria leaned against a snow-covered car, her legs weak. 15 minutes, she told herself. Maybe 20. David lived across town, but he'd drive fast in this weather. She counted her breaths, tried not to look at the dark windows of the house, tried not to think about Marcus inside, probably already pretending she never existed. Headlights cut through the falling snow. A black car, sleek, expensive, came around the corner fast, too fast for the weather. It fishtailed slightly before straightening out, coming to a hard stop right in front of her. Victoria's stomach dropped. That wasn't David's beat-up Honda. 3 men stepped out. The one in front was tall, lean, wearing a long black coat that looked like it cost more than her entire wardrobe. His face was sharp, handsome in a cold way. His dark hair swept back from his forehead. Asian features. Young, maybe early 30s. Behind him, 2 bigger men. One had a scar running down his cheek. The other wore gloves despite the cold, the leather creaking as he flexed his hands. The man in front strode straight to Victoria. His eyes swept over her once, taking in her size, her face, her pregnant belly, and something flashed across his expression too fast to read. "You're late," he said. His accent was thick, Korean maybe. His voice was rough, impatient. "Signal should have come 2 hours ago." Victoria blinked. What?" He grabbed her arm, not gentle. His fingers dug in through her coat. "No time for questions. Get in, now." "Wait," she tried to pull back, but he was stronger than he looked. "I think there's been a mistake." "Mistake?" He glanced at his men, something dark crossing his face. "You sent distress signal. We came. That's protocol." I texted my cousin. In car." He wasn't listening. He was already pulling her toward the open door. "Area not secure. They could be watching." "Who could be watching?" "Listen, I don't know who you are, but if you're watching this, comment below where you're from and hit that like button. And if you want more intense stories like this, subscribe to Love and Tension right now, because what happens next is going to shock you." The scarred man opened the back door. The man holding Victoria, the one who seemed to be in charge, practically shoved her inside. She stumbled onto the leather seat, her bag falling from her hand. "Hey, you can't just—" He slid in beside her. The door slammed. The locks engaged with a heavy click that made Victoria's heart stop. "Drive," the man said in Korean to the driver. "Take southern route. Check for tails." The car lurched forward. Victoria grabbed the door handle. Locked. She tried the window controls. Nothing. "Let me out!" Her voice was rising, panic flooding her veins. "This is kidnapping. I'll scream." "Scream if you want." The man settled back against the seat, his eyes fixed on her. "Windows bulletproof, soundproof. No one will hear." "I texted my cousin, David. His number ends in 4728. Check your phone. You're not David." For the first time, doubt flickered across his face. He pulled out his phone, scrolled. His jaw tightened. "This number," he said slowly. "It's mine. You sent message to this number." He showed her the screen. Victoria's blood turned to ice. The last digits, 4738, not 4728. One number, one single digit different. "Oh God," she whispered. "Oh God, I mistyped. I didn't mean, who are you?" The man studied her, really looked at her for the first time. His eyes traveled from her face down to her belly, then back up. Something shifted in his expression. "My name is Jun-Hoo," he said quietly, too quietly, "and I think we have a very big problem." The car ride lasted 30 minutes. Victoria tried everything. Begging, reasoning. She showed him her cracked phone, pulled up David's real number, explained about Marcus and the in-laws and Christmas, and how this was all just a terrible mistake. Jun-Hoo listened, said nothing. The 2 men in front didn't even glance back. Please, Victoria said for the 100th time, just drop me at a shelter, a motel, anywhere. You can forget this ever happened. Can't do that. Why not? He looked at her with those dark, unreadable eyes. Because you have my number now. You've seen my face, my men, my car. You know what happens when civilians know too much. Victoria's mouth went dry. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I don't even know who you are. Exactly. He leaned forward slightly. You don't know what you've walked into. This number you texted? It's emergency line. Only 5 people in the world have it. People who work for me. People I trust. When I got your message, I thought one of them was in danger. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. His voice was flat. That signal brought me out here personally on Christmas Eve, left business unfinished, exposed my location, all for wrong woman. The car turned down a dark street. No streetlights, no houses, just warehouses and industrial buildings, their windows broken or boarded up. They pulled into a loading bay. The door rolled shut behind them with a sound like thunder. Out, Jung-Hoo said. Victoria didn't move, couldn't. Her entire body was shaking now, and not from the cold. The scarred man opened her door and reached in. She shrieked and tried to scramble backward, but there was nowhere to go. He grabbed her arm, gentler than Jung-Hoo had, but still firm, and pulled her from the car. Her feet hit concrete. The space was huge, empty except for a few crates and a single metal chair under a hanging light. It looked exactly like every crime scene she'd ever seen on TV. "Oh God," she whispered. "Oh God, you're going to kill me." Jung-Hoo stepped out of the car, straightening his coat. "Kill you? No, that would be wasteful." "Then what?" "Sit." He pointed at the chair. Victoria's knees gave out. She half sat, half collapsed into it. The metal was freezing through her jeans. Jung-Hoo circled her slowly. "Let me explain situation. Real person who should have sent that message, her name is Minji. She's been working undercover for me, gathering information on rival operation. Very dangerous people. 3 weeks ago, she went silent. Tonight, I finally get emergency signal from her number." He stopped in front of Victoria. "Except it's not her, it's you. I made a mistake." "Yes, you did." He crouched down so they were eye level. "Now I have to figure out what to do with you. Can't let you go, you know too much. Can't kill you, too messy, and honestly, you're pregnant. I'm not a monster." His lips curved in something that wasn't quite a smile. "But I can't trust you either." Victoria's mind was racing. What happened to Minji, the woman who was supposed to send the signal? Good question. Jung-Hoo stood. She's either dead, captured, or turned. Either way, I walked into trap tonight because of you, because I thought she needed help. "I'm sorry," Victoria said again, helplessly. "I'm so sorry. Stop apologizing." He pulled out his phone. "Explain everything, from beginning. Why were you outside in snow? Who kicked you out? Where is your husband?" So Victoria talked. She told him about Marcus, about the in-laws, about 7 months of trying to fit into a family that never wanted her, about tonight, about David's number and the single digit that changed everything. Jung-Hoo listened without interrupting. When she finished, he was quiet for a long moment. "Your husband," he said finally, "he just watched them throw you out?" Victoria nodded, tears burning her eyes. "And they kept his child, their grandchild. They said they'd take the baby after it's born, raise it properly, without me." Something dangerous flashed across Jung-Hoo's face. "They planned to take your child? That's what his mother said, that I could give birth and then disappear. They'd tell the baby I abandoned it or something." Jung-Hoo turned away, speaking rapid Korean to his men. They responded in the same language, their voices low. Finally, he turned back to Victoria. "New plan," he said. "You stay here tonight. Tomorrow, I deal with Minji situation, then I figure out what to do with you." "Here?" Victoria looked around the freezing warehouse. "I can't stay here. It's Christmas. I'm pregnant. You need to be alive." His voice cut through her protests. "Right now, you're safest here. You go to shelter, Marcus and his family find you, what happens? You go to police, they don't believe you, send you back to husband? You wander streets?" He shook his head. "You'll freeze, or worse." He walked to one of the crates and returned with a heavy blanket, tossed it to her. "There's a bathroom in back, running water. Sang-Hyun will bring food." He nodded at the scarred man. "Try to sleep. Tomorrow we talk more." "You're leaving me here?" Victoria's voice cracked. "Alone?" "Not alone. Sang-hyun stays. He won't hurt you, but he also won't let you leave." Jung-hoo headed for the car. "Oh, and Victoria, don't try calling for help. Signal doesn't reach. And even if it did," he paused at the car door, "no one knows you're here. No one is coming for you. Understand?" Victoria understood. She was trapped. The car doors closed. The engine started. Jun-hoo and one man drove away, leaving her with Sang-hyun, who settled onto a crate near the door with his phone, completely ignoring her. Victoria pulled the blanket around her shoulders and tried not to cry. One wrong number. One single digit. And now she was here. Victoria didn't sleep. How could she? Every sound made her jump. The settling of the building, the distant traffic, Sang-hyun's occasional cough, the baby rolling inside her, restless and uncomfortable. She spent the night curled in the chair, the blanket wrapped tight, replaying everything. If she'd just double-checked David's number, if she'd called instead of texting, if she'd never married Marcus in the first place, if. Dawn came slowly, gray light filtering through the high windows. Sang-hyun stood, stretched, and disappeared into what Victoria assumed was the bathroom. When he came back, he had 2 bottles of water and a wrapped sandwich. He set them on the floor near her chair without a word. "Thank you," Victoria whispered. He returned to his crate. The sandwich was turkey and cheese. It tasted like cardboard, but Victoria forced herself to eat. The baby needed food, even if she didn't want it. Around noon, the garage door rolled up. Jun-hoo's black car pulled in, followed by a second vehicle, a silver sedan. Jun-hoo got out, and so did someone else. A woman. She was small, thin, with black hair pulled into a severe bun. Her face was bruised, one eye swollen nearly shut. She moved stiffly, like her ribs hurt. Sang-hyun grabbed her arm and led her to a second chair. Where had that come from? Setting her down roughly, Jun-hoo approached Victoria. "Good morning. You eat?" Victoria nodded, her eyes on the injured woman. "That's Min-ji," Jun-hoo said. "Found her 2 hours ago in Rival's warehouse. They'd been questioning her. She didn't break, which is impressive, but also means they're going to come looking for her soon." Min-ji raised her head, her good eye fixed on Victoria with pure hatred. She said something in Korean, spitting the words. Jun-hoo responded sharply. Min-ji fell silent, but the hatred didn't leave her face. "She wants to know who you are," Jun-hoo translated. "Why some random pregnant woman has her emergency number." "I don't have her number. It was a mistake." "I explained." Jun-hoo waved a hand. "She's upset. But that's not your problem." He pulled up a third chair and sat between them. "Now we have new situation. I have you, I have Min-ji, I have rivals who know Min-ji was captured and will assume I rescued her. They'll be looking for revenge." "So let me go," Victoria said desperately. "I'm not part of this." "Actually, now you are." Jun-hoo's voice was almost apologetic. "Because here's what happens if I let you go. You go to police, tell them about kidnapping. Police investigate, find this warehouse, find evidence of my operation. I can't allow that. I won't go to the police, I promise." "Everyone promises, until they don't." He stood. "So you stay, at least until I secure new location and clean this one." "How long?" "Week, maybe 2. 2 weeks?" Victoria struggled to her feet, her hand on her belly. "I can't. I'm due in 2 months. I need to see a doctor. Doctor will come here. Tomorrow. Check you and baby." Jun-hoo's voice was firm. "You'll be safe, fed, warm, more than you had on that street corner last night." He was right, and Victoria hated that he was right. "Why are you doing this?" she asked quietly. "If I'm such a problem, why not just get rid of me?" Jun-hoo looked at her for a long moment. "You remind me of someone, my sister. She was pregnant too when she died. Different circumstances, but..." He shook his head. "Call it conscience, call it weakness, but I don't hurt pregnant women, even stupid ones who text wrong numbers." Min-ji said something else in Korean. This time, Jun-Hoo ignored her. He spent the next hour on his phone, pacing, speaking rapidly in Korean. Song-hyun brought more food, noodles, rice, some kind of meat Victoria didn't recognize. Min-ji ate with her good hand, still glaring at Victoria between bites. Finally, Jun-Hoo returned to Victoria. "Need to ask you something. Your husband, Marcus, he knows you're gone, yes? Obviously. He look for you?" Victoria let out a bitter laugh. "No, he's probably relieved. His family, they have money? Some. His dad owns a construction company. Address?" Victoria's stomach dropped. "Why do you need his address?" "Because," Jun-Hoo said calmly, "I'm going to send them message. Let them know you're safe. Let them know what happens if they cause problems." "No, please, just leave them alone." "Victoria." He crouched in front of her again. "They threw pregnant woman into snow on Christmas. They plan to take your baby. You really want to protect them? I don't want anyone hurt. No one will be hurt. Just scared, little bit." His smile was cold. "Address, now." Victoria gave it to him, hated herself for it, but gave it anyway. Jun-Hoo made another call, spoke quickly, hung up. "Done. My men will visit tonight. Leave message on their doorstep. Nothing violent, just reminder that you're not alone anymore." Victoria didn't know how to feel about that. Part of her, the part that still remembered her mother-in-law's disgusted face, felt a dark satisfaction, but the rest of her was terrified. This wasn't protection, this was ownership, and she was beginning to understand the difference. 3 days passed. Victoria fell into a strange routine. Wake up on the cot Sang-hyun had brought, better than the chair at least. Eat breakfast, wait, eat lunch, wait more. The doctor came once, an older Korean man who spoke little English but examined her thoroughly, checking the baby's heartbeat with a portable monitor. He gave Jun-Hoo a thumbs up and left. Min-ji was kept in a separate room now. Victoria could hear her sometimes, arguing with Jun-Hoo in Korean. She'd recovered somewhat. Her eye was open now, the swelling gone down, but she still moved carefully. On the 4th night, Victoria couldn't sleep. Again. The baby was doing gymnastics, pressing on her bladder. She made her way to the bathroom, using the small flashlight Sang-hyun had given her. On her way back, she heard voices, Jun-Hoo and someone else, not Min-ji, a man. Victoria froze in the shadows. "You can't keep her here forever, Hyung." The voice was younger than Jun-Hoo's, also Korean accented but smoother. "She's a witness, a liability." "I know," Jun-Hoo sounded tired, "but I can't just... can't or won't." The younger voice was closer now. "You've gone soft. This is why I should be running things. You let feelings get in the way." "Careful, Tae-young." "Tae-young." Victoria filed the name away. "I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. The pregnant woman, Min-ji, they're both problems. 2 birds, 1 solution." "No." "No?" Tae-young laughed. "Brother, you're not thinking clearly. The rivals know we have Min-ji. They'll come for her. When they do, they'll find the pregnant one too. Then what? You think they'll show mercy?" Silence. "Let me handle it," Tae-young said. "Clean, quick. They'll just disappear. Problem solved." Victoria's blood turned to ice. "I said no." Jun-Hoo's voice was hard now. "She's under my protection. Since when do you protect random civilians? Since she became my responsibility." Footsteps. "Go home, Tae-young. I'll deal with this my way. Your way is getting us killed. Then challenge me properly. Take leadership. But until then, you follow my orders." More footsteps. The sound of a door opening and closing. Victoria waited in the shadows, her heart hammering. Slowly, quietly, she made her way back to her cot. She didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning, Jun-Hoo seemed different, distracted. He brought breakfast himself, eggs, toast, orange juice, and sat with Victoria while she ate. "You have family, besides Marcus?" Victoria shook her head. "My mom died, no siblings, just me. Lonely life." "Yeah." She pushed eggs around her plate. "What about you? I heard you mention a sister yesterday." His face closed off. "She's gone, long time ago. I'm sorry." "Don't be. Life is full of loss. We just keep moving." Victoria gathered her courage. "Jun-Hoo, that man last night, Tae-young, he wanted to kill me, didn't he? Junhoo's eyes snapped to hers. You were listening. I was going to the bathroom. I didn't mean to. Doesn't matter. He leaned back, studying her. Yes, he wanted to kill you. He probably still does. Tae-young is my brother. Half-brother, technically. He thinks I'm weak, that I let emotions cloud judgment. Is he right? Maybe. Junhoo smiled without humor. But weakness keeps me human. His way leads to madness. Will he try anyway? To kill me? He might. Junhoo's honesty was somehow worse than a lie, which is why I'm moving you tonight. New location, safer. And Min-ji stays here. Different situation. He stood. Pack your things. We leave at midnight. But they didn't leave at midnight, because at 11:47 p.m., everything went wrong. Victoria was waiting by her cot, her single bag packed, when the lights went out. Not just dim, dead, complete blackness. Sang-hyun? She called. No answer. Then, gunshots. Victoria screamed and dropped to the floor, her hands over her belly. More gunshots. Shouting in Korean. Glass breaking. She crawled toward the wall, her breath coming in panicked gasps. The baby was kicking frantically, responding to her fear. Footsteps running, more shouting, a door slamming. Then, silence. Victoria waited, pressed against the cold concrete, counting her heartbeats. The lights flickered back on. Junhoo appeared in the doorway. His coat was torn, blood on his sleeve. His or someone else's, Victoria couldn't tell. Are you hurt? He asked. She shook her head, unable to speak. Good. Get up. We're leaving now. What happened? Rivals found us. Min-ji had a tracker we didn't find, led them right here. He grabbed her arm, pulling her up. Come on! They ran through the warehouse. Victoria saw Sang-hyun by the door, holding his gun, blood running down his face. Saw another body on the floor, one of the attackers. Saw Min-ji being dragged by another man, her hands tied. Junhoo shoved Victoria into a car, not his black one, a different vehicle, smaller. He jumped in beside her, and the driver floored it, tires screaming. Victoria looked back through the rear window, saw the warehouse, saw figures emerging, raising guns, saw the muzzle flashes as they opened fire. The rear window exploded. They drove for 2 hours, switching cars twice, taking random turns and back roads. Victoria spent the whole time curled in the back seat, arms over her head, sure every second would be her last. Finally, they stopped at another building. This one looked like an old apartment complex, most of the units boarded up. Junhoo led her inside, up 3 flights of stairs, into a small room with a mattress on the floor and nothing else. Stay here, he said. Don't leave, don't call anyone. Understand? Victoria nodded numbly. He left. She heard locks engaging. She was alone again. Victoria sank onto the mattress and finally let herself cry. Great heaving sobs that shook her whole body. The baby rolled and kicked, distressed by her distress. I'm sorry, she whispered to her belly. I'm so sorry, baby. This is all my fault. Hours passed, maybe days. Victoria lost track. Someone, not Junhoo, not Sang-hyun, someone new, brought food and water, left it by the door, didn't speak. She tried the door once, locked solid. The window was boarded from the outside. Prison. She was in prison. On what Victoria thought was the 3rd day, the door opened. Tae-young walked in. He was younger than Junhoo, maybe mid-20s, with the same sharp features but softer. He smiled at her, and it was genuinely warm. Hello, Victoria. I'm Tae-young, Junhoo's brother. Victoria pressed herself against the wall. Stay away from me. Hey, I'm not here to hurt you. He raised his hands, showing they were empty. I'm here to help. I brought you something. He set down a bag. Clean clothes, real food, phone charger. Victoria didn't move. Look, I know you overheard us that night. I know you're scared, but I need you to understand. I wasn't actually going to kill you. I was testing my brother. He's been unstable lately. I needed to see if he'd protect you or do the smart thing. The smart thing being murder? The smart thing being cutting losses. Tae-young sat on the floor, casual. But he protected you, which means he cares, and that's a weakness I can use. Victoria's stomach turned. Use for what? To take over. to fix this organization before his emotional decisions get us all killed. He leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow, rivals will attack again. They know about this location. I made sure of it. When they come, Jun-Hoo will try to protect you, and he'll die doing it. No! Unless, Tae-young held up a finger, unless you help me. You call him right now, tell him you've been moved, tell him you're in a different location, send him away. When the rivals attack, he won't be here, won't get caught in crossfire. He lives, I take over, everyone wins. Except me. I'll be here when the rivals come. That's the beauty of it. You won't. Tae-young smiled. I'll move you before they arrive, hide you somewhere safe. After it's done, after I'm in charge, I'll let you go, give you money, new identity, whatever you need. You disappear, start fresh. Victoria stared at him. Why would you help me? Because you're leverage, and unlike my brother, I don't let leverage go to waste. He stood, pulled out a phone, not hers, a burner. Call him, send him away, save his life. Or don't, and watch him die tomorrow trying to protect you. Your choice. He set the phone on the mattress and left. Victoria looked at the phone, looked at the door, looked down at her belly. This was impossible. Jun-Hoo had kidnapped her. Held her prisoner. She should want him gone, should want to escape, but Tae-young was worse. She could feel it, the way he smiled, the way he talked about leverage and weakness. Jun-Hoo was dangerous, but he had lines he wouldn't cross. Tae-young had no lines at all, and if Tae-young took over, Victoria picked up the phone. The attack came at dawn. Victoria woke to gunfire. Again. She was getting horribly used to that sound. She ran to the boarded window, peering through cracks in the wood, saw cars pulling up, men with guns, different men than before. These wore red scarves around their necks, the rivals. Screams from downstairs, more gunfire, a door crashing open. Victoria grabbed the bag Tae-young had brought, pulled out the phone. No signal. He'd lied about that too. Footsteps pounding up the stairs. Her door burst open, but it wasn't the rivals. It was Jun-Hoo. His face was hard, desperate. Why didn't you call? I waited for your call. Victoria stared. You knew about Tae-young? Of course I knew. He's my brother. I know how he thinks. Jun-Hoo grabbed her arm, pulled her toward the door. He wanted me gone so he could kill you and blame it on rivals, but I didn't leave. I never left. They ran down the hallway, saw Sang-hyun at the stairs, firing down at the rivals climbing up, saw Tae-young emerging from a room, gun in hand. Tae-young saw them, his face twisted. You should have left, brother. He raised his gun, not at Jun-Hoo, at Victoria. Jun-Hoo threw himself in front of her. The gunshot was deafening in the narrow hallway. Jun-Hoo stumbled. Blood bloomed across his shirt. No! Victoria screamed. Sang-hyun turned, fired at Tae-young. Missed. Tae-young ducked back into the room. More rivals on the stairs. Sang-hyun went down, taking two of them with him. Jun-Hoo grabbed Victoria's face with bloody hands. Backstairs, end of hall, fire escape. Go, now. You're shot. Go. He shoved her away, turned to face Tae-young's room, raising his own gun. Victoria ran, down the hall, through a door, down metal stairs that clanged with every step. Behind her more gunshots, screaming. She burst out into an alley. Freezing air hit her lungs, ran, didn't look back, ran until her legs gave out 2 blocks away, collapsing against a dumpster, gasping, hands on her belly. The baby kicked. Still alive, still okay. Sirens in the distance. Someone had finally called the police. Victoria looked back toward the building, smoke rising from the windows. No sign of Jun-Hoo, no sign of anyone. She pulled herself up, started walking, away from the building, away from the sirens, just away. Her phone, her real phone, still in her original bag, buzzed. A text from David, her cousin. Hey, Merry Christmas. Sorry I didn't respond yesterday. Phone died. You okay? Victoria stared at the message, typed back. Wrong number. Sorry. deleted his contact, and kept walking into the cold morning. Victoria stood in the hospital bathroom, staring at her reflection. The baby, a girl, 7 pounds, healthy, was sleeping in the nursery. Victoria had given birth alone, no family, no visitors, used a fake name, paid cash she'd found in one of Tae-young's bags. She'd been living in a motel for 3 months, working under the table at a laundromat, saving every dollar. No sign of Junho, no sign of Tae-young, no sign of any of them. The news had reported a gang shootout on that morning in January, multiple casualties, no survivors identified. Marcus had tried calling twice, she'd blocked his number. The in-laws hadn't looked for her at all. Victoria splashed water on her face, tried not to think about the way Junho had looked at her with blood on his hands, tried not to wonder if he'd survived, tried not to care. A knock on the bathroom door. "Miss Phillips, your daughter is awake." Victoria dried her hands, walked out to the nursery. Her daughter's eyes were open, dark and alert. Victoria picked her up, feeling the weight of her, the realness. "Hey, baby girl, it's just you and me now, okay?" The baby made a small noise, not quite a cry, not quite a coo. Victoria held her close and walked to the window, looked out at the city, at the snow falling again, softer now, peaceful almost. Somewhere out there, Marcus was living his life. The in-laws were pretending she never existed. Somewhere out there, Tae-young might be running an empire, or rotting in prison, or dead. And Junho. A black car pulled up to the hospital entrance. Victoria's breath caught. A man got out, tall, dark coat, looked up at the building, too far away to see his face clearly. He stood there for a long moment, then got back in the car and drove away. Victoria exhaled slowly. "Let's go home, baby," she said to her daughter. "Our real home, wherever that is." She turned away from the window, didn't look back. Somewhere in her bag, her phone buzzed. An unknown number. She deleted it without reading, because she'd learned her lesson. Some numbers you just don't answer. Some messages you let go unread. And some mistakes change everything. Before you go, drop a comment telling us what you thought of this story. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for love and tension, because we've got more intense, unpredictable stories coming your way. Trust us, you don't want to miss what's next. The end.